A girl named Anna Nick, who plays the cello in her room, suddenly finds herself facing danger as her perpetually drunk stepfather violently hits her on the cheek. In a desperate act of self-defense, she kicks him away, leading to a fatal accident. In court, she claims self-defense, but her mother vehemently denies any harm from her husband, resulting in Anna being sentenced to 4 years in a strict juvenile detention center. Upon arrival, Anna, along with other inmates, is introduced to the prison routine and given instructions. The prison warden, Frank, stresses the importance of following rules. Anna is assigned to share a cell with an introverted inmate named Jenny, who reveals she has been in the facility for 5.5 years. During a walk the next day, Anna and Jenny face hostility from a group of inmates, but a leader named Cody intervenes, warning them about the true dangers within the prison. According to Cody, gentle souls like Anna won't survive long, but she advises kindness and caution. In the cafeteria, Cody offers Anna protection, but she just wants to be left alone. Later, Cody and her gang confront Anna in the storage room, beating her up and issuing a warning. Nurse Jane advises Anna to seek help from Warden Frank, emphasizing the prison's harsh reality. Anna approaches the warden, who offers her solitary confinement or protection in exchange for a favor. Anna refuses the offer, opting to face the challenges within her cell. In her bed, Anna cries, finding solace in Jenny's comforting words as she reveals her own struggles. Jenny assures Anna of her beauty, and in a tender moment, they share a comforting kiss. As they navigate the challenges, they find peace together, even dozing off during a literacy class. Yet a dark-skinned girl continues to trouble Anna. During a walk, the troublesome girl mocks Anna, leading her to seek help from the gang. Despite initial resistance, a member attacks Anna, prompting a fierce retaliation. Impressed by her boldness, Cody, the gang leader, decides to bring the new girl into their circle. In their shared room, the girls introduce Anna to a TV and various coping mechanisms for their shared struggles. Cody, emphasizing mutual favors, instructs them to address the troublesome girl without resorting to violence. The girls plan to capture the incident on a phone. Nick bravely confronts the situation, and soon the guards intervene to address the matter. Nexus is isolated and placed in solitary confinement for 2 weeks as a form of punishment. A few days later, Frank takes Nexus out of isolation and promises to spare her from further punishment if she complies. Despite her reluctance, Nexus agrees, feeling uncomfortable. The girls then give her a first tattoo and offer her a choice of substances. Cody admits a fondness for her, and Nexus's mother visits her in prison, still believing her daughter was not abused. In a tearful encounter, Nexus describes her father as a monster, and her mother leaves after a heated exchange. The following day, tensions rise as the dark-skinned group confronts Cody's gang, leading to intervention by the guards who separate the prisoners. Nick is brought back to Frank, who reveals that he arranged for the dark-skinned troublemaker to be in solitary confinement for 2 weeks. Frank offers Nexus prohibited substances, and when she returns to the cell and questions her cellmate, the neighbor refuses to talk due to being under the influence. Nexus attempts to apologize, but faces rejection from her cellmate, who is in an altered state. Frustrated with the situation, Nick begins using substances more frequently, leading to arguments with Cody and the gang, ultimately resulting in her departure from the group. Nick attempts to reconcile with Jenny, but she rejects her while under the influence. Cody, noticing this, tries to bring Nexus back to her senses, but Nexus responds rudely. Cody informs her that she is no longer under their protection. The next day, tensions escalate, resulting in a confrontation between the dark-skinned group and Nick, leading to her returning to solitary confinement. After a few days, the girl in distress breaks a plastic tray and uses a shard to harm herself. Fortunately, an officer intervenes and saves her life. She awakens in the psychiatric ward and undergoes tests, leading to her continued stay there. Desiring to see her mother, she eventually reunites with her. Her mother, finally acknowledging the gravity of the stepfather's actions, seeks forgiveness from her daughter. Over time, Frank permits the girls to return to their cells. Despite the pain, Nick decides to remove the tattoo given by Cody. She reconciles with Jenny, finding solace in each other. In the cafeteria, Members of Cody's gang approach Nick, smearing her face with food in the absence of any protectors. The chief invites Nick to his office and presents her with a cello, wanting her to perform in a court event. To combat boredom, Cody catches up with Nick and cuts her face with a razor for daring to remove the tattoo. Nick is subsequently beaten, and her hands are stepped on to force her to play an instrument. When Frank visits the prison hospital, Nick confesses that she was beaten by Cody. Later, she reveals the truth about the warden, who consistently coerces her into satisfying his demand. Meanwhile, Frank monitors the women through the cameras. After a few days, the inmates revolt and assault the doctor, prompting her to burst into the warden's office and threaten to expose his violence against the inmates. Once she leaves the office, Frank orders Cody and others to eliminate her. They approach the inmate and repeatedly stab her with a knife. Next, Nick participates in a talent show, captivating the inmates with her music. Impressed, Frank promises her a parole hearing the following week and assures her of his support. However, Cody warns Nick not to trust the warden, emphasizing his unreliability. Nick receives a letter about the parole hearing, realizing Frank might deceive her. She seeks Cody's help in seeking revenge on the warden, who provides her with a phone to discreetly record a video during her next encounter with him. When Nick is sent to the office, Frank orders her to play the cello to gain favor. At the hearing, Nick secretly records the proceedings on her phone. The next day, the hearing begins, and Nick expresses regret for her actions. Frank breaks his part of the deal and declares her a flagrant violator, advocating for her continued imprisonment. The commission is about to deny her parole, but she intervenes, presenting the video. The shocking footage leads to the warden's immediate arrest for harassment. In the corridor, angry inmates viciously attack him. The commission eventually grants Nick early release for her courageous actions on the street. Her joyful mother welcomes her daughter back after some time. Nick performs with the cello at a big concert, marking the end of the film.